Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make some jewellery. I've got no idea what to call it, to be honest. It's not a faux stone, but it's using some faux stone techniques, if that makes sense, but it's not um, replicating any stone in particular. So like I say, I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but this is what you're going to need. So I've rolled out some translucent clay, and these are 6 equal sizes rolled out onto a number 4 on my Atlas 150, 0 being the thickest setting, and I just used a cutter for the equal squares. And I've also got some more translucent over here. I've cut out 8 equal squares. I know you can't see all of it, but there's 8 of them, and they are rolled onto a number 6, so they're thinner. I've also rolled out some Premo bronze on my thinnest setting. You're just going to need a strip of that, and I probably won't even need all that. And also some Premo gold, a nice thin strip rolled on my thinnest setting, or roll it as thin as you can get it. You'll also need some alcohol inks, and I'm going with this Cernit Lagoon, Cernit Turquoise and Cernit Sapphire. I've also got some balls of clay ready, rolled out, well, balled up. Probably not going to need all of that, but I've got some Premo Black, Premo Navy, Premo Bronze, Premo White Translucent, as is this, Premo White Translucent and Premo Gold, but that's for down the road. And I've rolled some teardrops out of some Premo White, Premo Black and some more of that Premo Navy, and that's obviously going to become a Skinner blend, so I'll just quickly do that. So put your little teardrops together, and I'm probably using 3/4 of a strip off a 2-ounce block for these, for each colour, roughly. So I'm just going to pass this through my pasta machine and make a nice blend with it, and I've got literally no room here. I'm going to pass it down my pasta machine this way, fold it colour to colour, pass it through, fold colour to colour, and I'll keep doing that until I've got my blend. Okay, I've got my blend, but I also forgot to mention that you're going to need some copper leaf. I'm using gold. And I think that's everything, but you know me, I usually forget something. Anyway, I've got my blend, but I'm going to turn it into a thinner blend, a longer strip. So I'm just folding it over to make a rectangle, like so. And I'm going to pass this through the pasta machine, and I'm going to take it down to a number 6, so fairly thin. So you end up with a very long strip. So I'll do that on camera. Just quickly take it down. And then I'm taking it down to a 6 now, if I can get it in the machine. I'm just going to start bringing it over, guys. You'll see it come on screen in a second. There we go. Long strip. And then I'm quite simply going to knock the camera. I've literally got no room here, guys. I'm so squashed right now because, as some of you know, my husband's renovating the basement, and he's building me a craft room basically. So I've been relocated in the basement, and everything's very squashed together down here. So I'm trying my best, but I'm getting in a bit of a pickle. Right, so you've got your long strip, and I'm just going to fan fold this. I'm just going to tidy that edge up a little bit though. So just start from one end and work your way down doing a fan fold. So just fold back on itself like so. Oh dear, I'm really out of room here. So, whoops, just keep folding it back on itself. I'm not the best at doing these, I'm not very tidy with them, but it all comes out in the wash. And when you've got limited room, it's very difficult. Okay. I always like to give mine a little squish on the ends as I go along, just to help tidy it up a little bit. Like that. And almost there. Oops. Last little bit. And then I'll just tuck that underneath like so. So you've got a block like that. Okay. So I'm just going to square this off, but I'm probably going to need to manipulate it a little bit down the road, but this is just the first part of the process. I'm just making sure it's all nice and stuck together. And that's that little segment done. So I'm just going to put that to one side for now. Alright, let's get to the translucent squares then. And these are the ones that are rolled onto a number 4. And all I'm going to do is add some alcohol ink to each one. So I'm going to get my Cernit lagoon, and this one, the cap broke on it, so I've got to stick my brush in there to get the ink out. And I'm just going to quite liberally brush some of that on 2 of the squares, like so. Just brush it all over. And if you keep going back over it, it helps it to dry quicker as well. So that's what I like to do. Like that. Move this out of the way. I knocked this bottle over yesterday and the lid wasn't on properly. I got ink all over my fingers. I'm surprised I got most of it off, to be honest. I'm going to give my brush a quick clean with some isopropyl alcohol before I go on to the next colour, although they're all similar, so it doesn't matter too much. And then I'm going to get my turquoise, and I'm just going to go boop, 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 and smear it all over. Maybe a little bit more. Same on this. And this ink is not going to get mixed into the clay, it's just going to sit on the surface like this. Okay, so there's that colour. And last but not least, the Sapphire. And this actually has a little bit of a, it's supposed to be sapphire, which I guess it is, but it's almost leaning towards the purple, which, you know, I love. So I'm going to add some of that onto these last 2 squares. And then we need to let those dry. Alright, so I'm going to go and let those dry just for a few minutes. It shouldn't take too long. I'm just going to add a little bit more on there. Alright, so I'm going to go and let those dry for a few minutes and I shall return. Okay, they're all dry-ish. Might still be a little tacky, but that's fine. And I'm just going to start simply stacking them. I'm going to put a piece of the other translucent on the bottom. And then I'm going to add a square on top of that. No particular order with the colours, I guess, but I'm probably just going to go dark to light. And then I'm just going to grab my gold leaf and just lay it on top of that square like so. Oops. Just kind of mush it on there. It's not imperative it covers every little tiny area, but you know, as best as you can, put it on that square like so. Give it a press down. Drop the lid on the floor, grab another piece of that thinner translucent and put that on the top of that. And then I'm going to add my other dark blue. And then another piece of trans on top of that. No gold leaf on that one. And then I'm going to go with the turquoisey colour and put that on there, and I'm going to add some more leaf on this one. hope I've rolled out enough squares. I thought I did, but if not, no worries, I'll just roll out some more. Alright, so that's that, and then we'll top that with another piece of trans, like so. The other turquoise, like so. Another piece of the trans, like so. The blue, the lagoon blue, and then some more copper leaf, gold leaf, like so. Alright, as simple as that. I'm just going to move this out of the way before I knock it over, and seeing as I drop the lid on the floor, knowing me, I would. That would be no fun, picking up floating gold leaf from everywhere. Alright, so let me just clear this away a little bit, tidy up a little bit, and then we're going to add another piece of the trans. Oh, I actually rolled out too many squares. Better to be safe than sorry. And then I'm going to finish that last bit there, and I actually only needed 6 of those squares, guys, not 8. Alright, but that's as simple as that for that. I'm going to roll this out, make sure it all sticks together nice. Roll it out a little bit thinner. And then I'm going to cut it in half, like so. And you're going to get some nice glimmery, sparkly lines running through that. Okay, restack, re-roll. And I'm just going to form this into more of a block, a thicker block, so I'm just compressing it. So it's more of a block. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to cut in half and restack again for this, just twice. Okay. Right, so we've got a little stack, and we've got this as well. I just want to make sure they're roughly the same size, but we can always play with that later so they fit. I'm just going to clean my desk down a little bit, dry it off so my clay doesn't slide everywhere. And now what you're going to need is some kind of pokey tool. I'm just going to use the end of this brush, to be honest, because I really don't have anything pokey that's an official pokey. I just use whatever I've got, guys, that's fine. And I'm using quite a thick brush. I did forget something else, by the way, some extra fine gold glitter, but that is for down the road. Right, moving on. Let me wipe my brush. We're just quite simply going to push this into the stack, and I'm going to get it as far down as I can without going through the bottom, so you're left with this big dent in the middle, and quite a big dent at that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these little pieces of clay that I told you about in the beginning, and I'm just going to fill that gap up with that. So I'm just taking a little bit, don't need a great deal, and I'm just going to roll it through my pasta machine fairly thin, probably a number 4 or 5 I'm thinking. Let's go 5. So they're just little strips, it's nothing. What am I doing? Yeah, I'm going that way, aren't I think. So I'm just tidying that up, and I'm just going to pop that in there like so. Oops. Get in there. Doesn't want to go in, guys. Nope. Sticking. Get in. Get in. Just trim that excess off. Doesn't have to be perfectly tidy, as you can see mine isn't. Same thing with the other colour, this gold. No particular order really, I suppose, but I do want to end it with translucent, so everything else you can just kind of put in which colour you want where. Trim this up a little bit and try and get that in there. Let's open it up a little bit, might be easier. I'm a bit concerned about that piece actually. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out though, or am I? Let me just fiddle with that and smooth it off a little bit. That's better. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that in there. Just give it a push in. Hope it doesn't come off again. And then cut that away. And then let's go with the blue. I'm contemplating whether to use the black. Not sure. Again, I'm rolling this onto a number 5 just real quick. Oops. Thin this off a little bit. It's a bit thick, a bit wide rather. Pop that in there. And I'm going to cut that off as well. Put all my scraps over here. Try and make some room. The reason I'm so squashed, I've still got the same desk, but a lot of the stuff that was brought over, I've had to just like cram it all in one area because there's not much space in this particular part of the basement. So everything's kind of on my desk as opposed to on shelves, etc. Alright, I think I will go with the black actually. Why not? And if I don't like it, I don't like it, but you know, you've got to try these things. So again, I've rolled that onto a number 5. Trim that up a little bit. And pop that in there. Oops. Like so. Actually guys, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put the trans in there first. I've changed my mind. I want the black to be at the bottom. I've just thought about it and it's like, yeah, I think I'll do that instead. So I'm just going to roll this little bit of trans out onto a number 5 instead, and I'm going to pop that in there instead. It's a bit wide. Take a little bit more off. You just kind of eyeball it, that's what I do. Doesn't have to be exactly precise in my opinion. Alright, so I've got that there. Let's take that bit off and that bit off. Oops. And then I'm going to roll this black into a little log and actually pop that in there like that instead, I think. I think I'll make it kind of into a triangle though. I have practiced this, I promise, but when I was doing this last night, as I was doing it, I was thinking of how I could change it to make it look a bit better, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. Pretty much the same thing all the way through, but I didn't do this part in my practice run. So I'm just going to take this, roll it into a log, and then pinch the top so it's more of a triangle shape. Like so. Pinch, 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 pinch. And then I'm just going to pop that in there like that. Yes. Yes, yes. Take the excess off. Alright, so you're going to end up with something that looks like this. Okay, it's as simple as that. And I'm just going to push that back together and actually bring it back in on itself. And reform it back into that rectangular block if I can. So I'm just going to keep turning and squishing turning and squishing. And kind of level that off a little bit. Okay, so that's that. So you should end up with something like this. It's not exactly rocket science, but there you go. I'm going to take my pokey thing again, and I'm just going to push some more indentations in here on either side. It's just to give it a bit of a squirrely pattern. So you can see it's not straight anymore, it's more squirrely. And I'm just going to push that back together. Like so. Just got to bear in mind that it's got to be the same length as this other stack. Okay, and then I think I'm going to go from the other side and do some smaller indentations in there. So I'm just going to push that down in a couple of places. Yeah, let's do another one there, and maybe just another one here. Alright. But I'm not going to close that back up. I'm going to leave it like that, although I do want to try and squish it a little bit, because now that's a bit longer than that, although I can take this out, can't I? Derp. So when you've done your indentations in this piece, you need to make sure that this block is now going to fit into this block. So I've just got to stretch this out a little bit because it's a bit shorter than that one. And I'm actually going to take these scruffy ends off as well. So just a little bit, just to tidy it up. Okay, it definitely needs to be longer, but this is going to help stretch it out. I'm going to do 3 indentations in this block as well. So I've turned it upside down, and I'm just going to do that. So it roughly matches the other one. I mean, it's not going to be precise, but it's just to give, again, it's just to give it a little bit of a squiggle. Like so. And I think what I'm going to do as well, this needs to be stretched out a little bit so it fits. Make sure it's the same thickness, width as well, going that way. And that's near enough, I guess. Just a little bit more. But what I'm going to do as well is add some more gold leaf in here, I think. Why not? Or shall I? Actually, I won't. I'm just going to leave it like that. But you could if you wanted to. So I've got to try and get this to fit in here. So I'm going to kind of do it like this, almost like a jigsaw puzzle. So I'm not like doing it end to end and there'll be gaps like that. I'm moving this one over a little bit so it can fit into those other grooves, but I just need to widen this one a little bit so it fits a bit better. And that one needs widening again. So you just play around with it until it fits. It's not too bad. I just need to get in there and squish that up a bit, and then I'm just going to pop it together like so, and then mush it back so it looks like it's all part of the same block. It's a little bit fiddly, I will say, but there's that. So I'm just going to condense this and make it into a taller block going upwards. So I'm just going to do this. Try and straighten it up a little bit. I think that'll do. Alright, so that's basically it, guys, other than a few finishing touches once it's been baked. Although I'm tempted. Oh, do you know what? I can't make my mind up today. No, I'm going to add the glitter now, I think. But you could always do that after if you're scared of getting the glitter everywhere. You do have to be a bit careful with it, I guess, because you don't want the glitter all over the piece, just in a certain area. But I think I am going to do that now rather than afterwards. Although you could... No, I'm not, guys. I'm sorry. Changed my mind again. All right, ignore that. We'll come back to that once that's been baked. All right, so get yourself a nice little block like this. It's so pretty. Look at that. But I still don't know what to call it. No idea. Anyway, there we go. So let's cut into this. I'm going to take fairly thick pieces because I don't want to add a backing. And then it's the same on both sides, and you're going to end up with something that looks like this. Cut another piece, and I think that will do. Alright, so you've got these cute little bits. Kind of wish I hadn't put the translucent there, that looks a bit odd. Can you see when I put those colours in there? I probably should have done the translucent first, followed by the colours, and then that would have been black. But you can do it whichever way you want to. It still looks pretty cool. Alright, let's roll a piece of this out then and make a pendant. Just going to roll it always. Flip it and roll it that way. Make sure all those little gaps are closed up. But you can see from those, from using this brush to push down, it's not a straight line. You've got some pattern going on in there. I'm not liking that bit though, I'll be honest. I should have done the translucent first, I think. First or last. Oh well, never mind. Alright then, let's get this burnished a little bit, because there's some little gaps in there. So let's just give it a good old burnish, just to help close those gaps up. Let me get my steel soap. These are listed on my Amazon storefront. That's really bugging me, guys. That bit is really bugging me. So do you know what I'm going to do? And this is the great thing about clay. You can change your mind, and I have changed my mind. So what I'm going to do, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm just going to cut that bit away because I'm not loving it, really, to be honest. So this is Deb fixing it because I'm not loving it at all. And I'm just going to close it back up. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit left in, that actually looks quite nice. So if you're like me and you don't like that bit, don't do that bit. Or if you decide you want to do it and then don't like it, do what I'm doing now and remove it. But I think that looks better. Deb fixed it. There we go, that's much better. Alright. That was bugging me, guys. No, I didn't like that at all. Oh dear. Right, let's carry on burnishing this. Make sure it's nice and smooth on both sides. I think that's probably good. Yes, I'm much happier with that. Okay, cool. Oh, do you know what I didn't do? I didn't add these gold strips. Oh my gosh. Do you know what? It doesn't even matter. Don't even need them. What I was going to do was, before I joined up these two blocks, I was going to add just a strip of the gold and the bronze, but that's really it. But I'm actually liking it like this. So, goodness me, I am all over the place, but it's not a loss. I'm not that bothered, to be honest. I think I actually like it like that. I did do it in my other ones, but you know what? I think I prefer it this way. But if you wanted to, before you put the two blocks together, you know how I pushed the brush through like that to make the wiggles. I then added a sheet of the bronze here and then topped it with a sheet of the gold, which is really thin, and I forgot to do it because I'm a ditz, but it was just a little added extra anyway. Alright, so that's my piece after I've like changed my mind 100 times and forgot to put things in, but there you go. It's still pretty cool. I'm actually loving it, to be honest. But again, I don't know what to call it. I have no idea what to call it. Don't know. I'll think of something, I guess. Alright, so I'm just giving this a clean. And I'm going to get my cutter of choice. I think I'm just going to go with this circle one. And cut right down into that. And I'm liking that actually. That's really nice. But guys, I don't know what to call it. And you can't tell me what to call it because you're not here. Don't know. And I'll tell you what as well, these leftover pieces from this make really nice chippy choppy, by the way. So you can use them for that, definitely. Alright, so there's that piece. I'm just going to pop it on some paper. So there's that piece. It's looking pretty nice. I like that. It needs another clean though. Oh my gosh, my desk is such a mess. There's crap everywhere. Let me just get my rubbing alcohol and give that another quick wipe. It's got some bits on it. Just smooth the edges a little bit. And there's that one. Oh, I love it actually. I really do. So there's that one. Let's get another piece then and roll this out. This one's a bit of a thicker chunk. And it's not going to look as nice on the back though, is it? So I think what I'm going to do is just actually remove some of that because it doesn't look as tidy. I'm just going to take little pieces away. That's better. Give that a roll, smooth it out again. Shall I take that bit out or not? Yeah, I think I will. I really don't like it. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me. That bit just does not speak to me at all. I knew I shouldn't have done it. I didn't do it in my practice run. And I was thinking to myself, shall I do that bit or not? And I went ahead and did it, and I don't like it. So, like I say, I think if I had done the colours first and then the black, and probably not even add the trans, it might have looked better, but I don't know. Anyway, but you know what I'm going to do on this one, just to make it a little bit more interesting? After I've rolled it and burnished it a little bit. I'm gonna get the end of a brush and I'm just gonna do some little grooves in the bottom just to add a little bit of extra something, like so. You don't have to do this, but I kind of like it. Needs tidying up though. That's better. Okay, so you can do that if you want to, and that will be part of the pendant. So let me just give this another quick burnish though. Make sure it's smooth and fairly level. Okay, yeah, I like that. So I need to get another cutter, and I thought I had them all out, but I don't. Instead, I've got a desk full of absolute, oh my gosh, there's stuff everywhere, guys. Stuff everywhere. Well, I can do one there, and I could perhaps fit something in there as well. So I'm not going to put the cutter so it's all the way up. I'm leaving it like that, so that little bottom bit has got the little squiggles there. So I'm making that part of the design. I think that's good. Should have probably left it on the tile for this bit. Oh, yeah, loving that. Yes, yes. So there's that one. Oh, I like that. Looking gorgeous, even if I do say so myself. Alright, so that's basically it, guys, other than to do a little bit of extra something once it's been baked. I'll make a few more pieces. I won't bore you with making any more. But sorry for the screw-ups, although, to be honest, I don't consider them screw-ups. It's more of a, I didn't like it and I altered it. Alright guys, so there are the two pieces that I've done on camera. I will show you some more, and I'm going to go and bake these, and I shall be back. Alright, these are out of the oven. I've given them a quick sand with a 320 wet dry sandpaper. They look a little bit dull at the moment, but don't panic, we're going to resin them. I was going to use my Kato liquid clay like I did in my last two videos, but I think I'm just going to resin these today, guys. I just want to clear something up. Somebody's just commented on my last, not my last video, my video before, where I show how to use Kato clear liquid clay. And she told me that I poorly explained how it gets the shine. I don't think I did poorly explain it, actually. I think I said like 3 times in that video, and also the last video that I did, that when you put the heat gun on it, it's the heat from the heat gun that brings out the shine, and I explicitly said that several times, but just to clear it up so you're not confused. Alright, okay, yeah, so I'm just going to resin these, but I'm just going to do, I'll just show you one or two on camera, because all I'm going to do is add a little bit of resin onto this tile. 2 blobs, and I said I was going to add glitter, didn't I? So I've got my extra fine glitter. This is gold, and I'm just going to tap it into the resin, and I thought black might be quite nice, so I've got some black as well, but this is chunky, looks like tiny little sequins, so I'm just going to mix that up in there. Again, this is optional, this is just a little added extra. You could even use embossing powder, I guess. Just dab your embossing pen over where you want the embossing powder to go. I do have videos showing how I do that, but I'm not gonna explain it right now, and I'm not sure about this black now, to be honest. It's very chunky. We'll see. Let's have a look what it looks like. Now this one, as you can see, I cut away a lot of the darker part of the piece and just left it with this bit. I can't get my words out. I'm a little bit flustered, guys, can you tell? And all I'm going to do, and I don't know if I want to do it on that one, to be honest. I think I'll just do it on these, and I'm just going to, this is just a little added extra, and I'm just going to add a little bit of sparkle on these, and I'm just going to follow that line around just to add some sparkle. Yeah, I don't know, it just irritates me when people say things like that, because I did explain, and I explained it several times. I kind of pride myself on explaining the details of things. I'm not a scientist. I don't know scientifically why heat brings out the shine in Kato, but I know that it does, and that's pretty much what I said. But yeah, it just kind of annoys me, because it's like, did you not listen? Did you not pay attention and then decided to come on my channel and tell me it was poorly explained when it wasn't? It's not my fault you didn't listen. Just saying. I probably shouldn't let it bother me that much, but it kind of does. So anyway, alright, so that's all I'm doing, is that just adding a little bit of sparkle. So that's going to go straight under my UV lamp to cure, and then I'm going to do the rest with gold. I think I'm just going to straight up resin this on its own, to be fair. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that to one side. But I made these really cute little earrings. I thought these were really nice, but I think I'm going to do the gold on that one once I've wiped my silicone brush off. So let's mix up the gold then in the resin. While I wait for my pieces to bake, I always go back and watch what I've already recorded, and oh my gosh guys, I am such a dithery ditz today. I think I said in one part you'll need some copper leaf and I'm using gold. What I meant was you'll need some metal leaf and I'm using gold, just to clarify, just in case you get confused. I confuse myself, to be honest. Right, okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing with this. I'm just going to follow that line around. Again, it's optional, but I kind of like a little bit of glitter. So I'm just dabbing it on. You don't need a great deal, it's just a little bit of extra shine, like that. And then the same for this one. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the other piece. I've not decided what I'm going to do with this piece yet, whether to add some or not. I'll think about it. They're going to look pretty once they're cured. So I'm going to go and do this one. I'm going to put them under the UV lamp and I will be back. Okay, these are the finished pieces. Well, finished in as much as I've resined them, etc. I didn't like just the black on that, so I added a gold of the line, a line of the gold on there. So there's that piece. Not sure how I'm going to finish. I might have some danglers coming off this maybe, but there's that one. But I love these pieces the mostest. There's that one. And again, I might have some danglers coming off this, but I love this one. So I just resined on the fronts so far. I need to do the backs as well. And again, I think this deserves some danglers coming off there, but I'm not going to show that. I'm just going to show you the pieces as are. And here are the earrings, and I really, 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 really like those ones too. Alright guys, so there's some pieces that have no name because I don't know what to call them. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.